uh, um, linger too long. So thank you so much for joining us. And there are people who are logging on now. I am Dr. Halim Malik Francis, and I'm the founding director of the John Lewis Public Administration program here at the Tulane School of Professional Advancement. As we get started, if those who are joining us can just put in the chat where they are logging in from or where you're joining us from, that would be wonderful, so that we have an opportunity to see all of the wonderful guests that we have here. So first, I want to welcome you to our webinar. And hi, Jonathan from Tulane's campus, Center for Public Service, it looks like. I want to welcome you to our admissions webinar, and here you see our program leadership. So as I shared with you, I'm the director of the program, and I joined Tulane in 2019 to lead the development and launch of our public administration program. And prior to coming to the university, I had a career in the nonprofit and philanthropy community area for probably about 20 years. And a lot of my work focused on capacity building, along with equity and inclusion in the nonprofit and philanthropic sectors, as well as community engagement in those areas. What drew me to this work here at Tulane was really the diverse and interdisciplinary approach that we take to public administration, which you'll hear about a little bit later. But I'm very, very happy to see you here with us today. And I will turn it over to my colleagues to allow themselves to introduce themselves, and then we'll jump right into our program. So Brian, looks like you're up next.
All right. Thank you so much, Halima. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. My name is Brian McNamara. I'm the Associate Director and a Professor of Practice with the John Lewis Public Administration Program. I joined the faculty in May of 2021 after serving for 21 years on active duty with the United States Coast Guard as an officer and a judge advocate. Within the faculty here, I teach across the curriculum with a particular focus on public policy foundations and the intersection of law and public administration. What really drew me to this program was the opportunity to be able to have direct and meaningful connection with students at various stages in their careers and to be able to help them advance their career goals. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Tiara Richardson Summers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tiara Richardson Summers. I recently joined the program as of September of last year. And I am currently kind of half and half teaching core courses, and I'm working on developing a lot of the courses and refreshing the courses that we have in the program to make sure that they are meeting the needs for the students. So that's one thing that I enjoy about the program, is that we're not stagnant in the coursework that we provide. We're always looking at the courses, determining if they're meeting our needs, assessing if they're doing the things that we need them to do, and we will develop and redevelop the courses to make sure that they are at that top-notch level. My background is in state, county, and local government, all of those things. And I had a stint in some nonprofit areas. And my goal really in the program is to help connect the real work experience and the things that you learn in a program. So you're going to learn about theories and you're going to learn about things in a master's program, but you want to be able to connect it to real life things and the real work that you're doing in the field. And with that, I'll pass it over to Ryan.
Thank you, Tara. I'm Dr. Ryan Albright. I originally came to the program in 2020 as a course designer and lecturer. Most recently, I was brought on board as the program manager for the program. My background, I've worked in philanthropy, nonprofits, the public and private sectors. I primarily work on urban planning and urban policy around disaster response and recovery, climate change and adaptation. So I'm excited to be here and excited that you're looking at the program for a potential home.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for sharing a bit about yourselves with our guests. And as you see, we have a wonderful leadership team that brings a wealth of experience and knowledge. And as you learn more about our program, learn more about our faculty, learn more about our course offerings, you'll get to see how that stands to impact your experience as a student. First, I want to talk a little bit about the School of Professional Advancement and our space within Tulane. So as you see here, Tulane has 10 separate schools, 10 separate units or divisions that make up the entire university. The School of Professional Advancement is actually one of the oldest schools in the university, founded dating back to 1886 as the outreach division of the university. And our mission really centers and focuses on providing students with academic and educational experiences that prepare them for career leadership, career advancement, and career opportunities overall. Our mission, we're very unique in that our mission also centers the needs of working adult learners and professionals. So you'll find throughout the School of Professional Advancement, or SOPA as we call it, you'll find that our programs are relatively broad. And again, the learning experiences that you have in class and in connections with your instructors really focus on providing you for educational and professional advancement. Next slide, please. So the SOPA is located on our physical location is on the Uptown campus here in New Orleans. We also offer courses that are online for the Master of Public Administration program and other certificates within the Public Administration program. Our work is done completely online. So all of the courses we offer are online. The other programs throughout SOPA are sometimes hybrid, they're sometimes online. So as you look at SOPA more broadly and our connection to the New Orleans community, we do offer that flexibility. We do offer the opportunity for students also to come to campus and be a part of the campus community. So you get really the best of all worlds through the School of Professional Advancement. Next slide. As I shared, we're one of 10 different schools within Tulane University. Our programs have been vetted, they've been accredited through the university's accrediting body. Our faculty are esteemed leaders in their field. Many of them have done groundbreaking research. A lot have also been leaders in their profession or as practitioners. One of the unique things that you'll find within SOPA faculty in particular is that we focus on career development and career readiness for our students. And that focus is backed by our experience. As you heard from myself, Dr. Summers, Professor McNamara, Dr. Albright, all of us have had careers in leadership roles in our respective fields. And that's one of the unique benefits that students who come through SOPA programs are able to connect with, and they're exposed to faculty who have not only the credentials, but they also have the experience. And that results in a Tulane degree. As you go through your program, as you go through the coursework that you will experience with us, you earn the respect and the credential and the backing of a Tulane degree, which is recognized globally. Next slide. So in today's webinar, we're going to focus on the program and faculty. So the John Lewis Public Administration program, you'll hear more about the classes that we offer. You'll hear about what you can experience as either an MPA or a certificate student. You'll also learn and hear more about the support that we offer our students. So a big part of the work that we do is making sure that our students are successful, and we offer multiple levels of support in that regard. And then you'll hear about our admissions process and some of the logistics around affordability and flexibility that you will deal with and manage as a student. So with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague to talk about our program and faculty. I think Professor McNamara is up next. So take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Alima. Okay, so I'll start off by talking a little bit about our faculty. And what you get with the faculty of the John Lewis Public Administration Program is you get a core of full-time faculty members plus adjunct program faculty members who have tremendous academic and professional credentials. As Dr. Leek Francis mentioned, many of them are leaders in their field, both in terms of practice and in terms of publication for both practitioner and scholarly audiences. The bottom line is the Master of Public Administration program, the John Lewis Public Administration program, is an academic powerhouse of a program. Another benefit of the School of Professional Advancement model is that because our faculty don't have research publication requirements, although we certainly do conduct research and we do write, because we're not evaluated on our publication requirements, what that means is that we can devote our attention and our focus on you. Now, for those of you who are Tulane University employees, naturally, there's an advantage to Tulane University's MPA program built into your employment. But for those of you who are watching this as a recording, you may notice if you're looking at other public administration programs around the country, that PA programs tend to be housed in different colleges and different schools. Some are within political science, some are within business administration, and a small handful, such as ours, are housed in what might be called professional advancement or continuing studies schools. And I would offer that you have a tremendous advantage for the student experience being within the School of Professional Advancement, because our faculty are evaluated not on our research capability, but on our ability to connect with and teach you. With our faculty, you would gain folks from every level of government and every corner of civil society. So you have a tremendous breadth and depth of experience to draw upon, both for your learning and for your professional networks. Next slide, please. I'm also very excited about the memberships and partnerships we have with the John Lewis Public Administration program. We are a member school of the Network of Schools of Public Policy, Public Affairs, and Public Administration. And how that benefits you as a potential student is it gives you the opportunity to draw upon NASPA organization resources for conferences and for simulation exercises as part of our residency program. The International City County Management Association, or ICMA, is another great organization that offers unparalleled networking and professional development opportunities, particularly for those students who are interested or even might be interested in careers in local government. We have the first ever student chapter of the ICMA within the state of Louisiana that is continuing to grow, housed primarily within the John Lewis Public Administration program, although we are beginning to branch out and attract members from across the Tulane University campus. So as a student of SOPA with the John Lewis Public Administration program, you have the opportunity to draw upon the benefits that ICMA student membership would have for you, and it is free. New Leaders Council and the National League of Cities offer exciting partnerships and ways for you to supplement your public administration graduate education through experiential learning. In particular, with the National League of Cities, we offer a program whereby you can obtain course credit for pursuing one of their particular training programs. So in total, not only do you have the opportunity as a student with the John Lewis Public Administration program to draw upon the vast resources of Tulane University as a major private university, you also have the opportunity to benefit from these significant memberships and partnerships that we offer for your benefit. Next slide, please. So who are we and what do we do? The bottom line is our purpose is to tie theory with practice to help you advance your career. We define public very broadly within the John Lewis Public Administration program, and we train you to have impact on society, whether you're in the public sector, the civic sector, or even within the private sector. And at the end of the day, what we hope to accomplish with our students is to help them understand how to engage with and incorporate the perspectives of various communities and understand how public policies impact those communities, perhaps in disparate ways, and how to remedy those disparities. We put a primary focus on not just teaching, but also on course development and teaching. So Dr. Summers mentioned earlier that she's involved in some course development this summer. We put as much effort into developing our courses as we do in teaching those courses. So every course you take with us has gone through a semester-long guided session to ensure that our courses are of the highest quality before they even go before students at all. And so that's another benefit that we have with our particular program. Next slide, please. For the Master of Public Administration, we require 12 total courses plus the residency. We'll talk about the residency in just a moment. But of those 12 total courses, 3 credits apiece, 6 of those courses are core courses. We have a capstone course, and then you have the opportunity to take 5 different elective courses. You can choose, if you wish, to take 4 of your 5 electives in a particular area in order to obtain a concentration, although that's not required. We have many students who come to us and know right away that they want to take a concentration and which concentration they want to take. We have many other students who develop a passion for a particular field once they've taken their core courses. And a little bit about how each individual course works. For all of the courses, although the capstone is a bit different, all of the courses have 12 modules, and that last roughly a week long each. And within each course, you would have anywhere between 4 to 6 Zoom meetings that you would attend. And so you get, with these courses, you get the benefits of a hybrid asynchronous course where the majority of your work is online, but with the opportunity multiple times during the semester to connect with your instructor and to help build a sense of community with your peers through the Zoom meetings, and then ultimately through the residency. And so that's a very brief overview of our program, who we are, and the Master of Public Administration degree requirements. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Ryan Albright, to talk a little bit about the experiential learning with the John Lewis Public Administration program.
Thank you, Professor McNamara. I want to take a few moments to talk about the experiential learning components of the MPA program, specifically applied research, especially during the capstone class, which is required for all students and is a critical component to transitioning theory into praxis by working on real-world challenges that require practical and actionable solutions created by you, the students, in conjunction with our instructors. There's also opportunities for internships for students without experience in the field. This opportunity to gain experience in the sector, along with relationship building with practitioners, which is incredibly important. And then the required residency program here in New Orleans, which I'll discuss in greater detail in the next slide. Next slide, please. So the MPA residency is held annually and is required for all MPA students to participate at least once during their matriculation at Tulane. It's also important to highlight the benefits of residency, including the opportunity to network in person with your classmates, build connections with colleagues and professionals across the field, along with hands-on learning through simulations and site visits around New Orleans. The residency also provides out-of-town students with the opportunity to connect with the city of New Orleans and its storied history, along with the Tulane campus itself. I would now like to hand it over to Dr. Tiara Richardson Summers to discuss graduate certificates. Thank you.
Okay. So like Professor McNamara mentioned, we have certificates that are also the concentrations that were mentioned. So if you're not sure that you want to pursue the full MPA program, but you have an interest in some of the areas that we offer, then you have the option of pursuing the graduate certificate, and those certificates can be stacked into a master's degree. So if you pursue the certificate and then you decide that you like the program and you want to continue, you can use those courses to stack on to continue to your master's degree. The certificate programs require 4 courses and it's less expensive than a degree. So if you're not sure that you're able to pursue a full master's degree, you're not sure that you have the financial aspect together, then you can choose to pursue the certificate as an initial solution to that. Next slide. And this lists the options of graduate certificates that we have currently. Next slide. And so we also have additional learning experiences through SOPA. So hold on. In general, our learning experience just has different learning environments for different students and learning styles. We don't have like a one size fits all. In the courses, you're going to have different activities, interactive activities, and different aspects to continue to learn in the field, the different areas, economic development, nonprofit. You will learn in those areas, and you will have activities guided by your instructors that help you mimic the real world scenarios. Next slide. And so this slide just tells you the projected growth of public service jobs. Like we said, we just had an assessment of our program, and they showed that the MPA program is one that's expected to grow in the next few years. And so the career opportunities in government, nonprofit, and the private sector are all intended to increase. Like the slide says, projected growth for MPA related jobs are expected to grow 5% nationally and 14% just in the Southeast. And so we want to make sure that we are including these opportunities so that people can have the experience to come into these jobs as these job sectors grow. Examples of the jobs: local, state, and federal government, which was my previous career, nonprofit and philanthropic organization, consulting firms, government evaluators, data manager in the private and government sector. And get data is one thing that we focus on in the program to make sure that you are confident in including data in your assessment. And then public finance manager or a corporate responsibility manager. So we have a lot of options of possible jobs that you could pursue after completing the program. Next slide. And so now we have a student testimonial. We'll have to come out of the slide in order to play that, and then we'll go back to the slide.
The online program far exceeded my expectations. I was a little hesitant to do an online program just because I was nervous about sort of feeling isolated as far as instead of like in person, sort of feeling by myself and no interaction. But this program really encourages the interaction between not only you and your classmates, but with you and the faculty and staff.
The professors and the faculty are phenomenal. And their real life experiences carries on into the coursework, and it just supports you as a student. And I think because of my experience, it just really enhanced my learning. They're just, it's a phenomenal program.
Okay. And just so you know, we didn't pay those students to give us those testimonials, but those are just their real comments about being in the program and their experience with the program. They were kind of apprehensive about being in a totally online program, but the connection between the students and the things that they got from the program were truly beneficial. And now they've continued on in their careers, they've graduated, and they're moving on. This gives you just a snapshot of the students in the program. As Halima mentioned earlier, we do have adult age students. So you see the average age is 32. We do have students that come to us straight from their bachelor's degree, and we have some students that come after being in the field having work experience for many years, and then they decide to come back to school. After completing the program, we have some that go on to law school and doctoral programs, some that experience promotions and career opportunities at their jobs. We have several that receive recognitions while they're in the program, and we've had a couple of students receive the Tulane 34 Award, which is a very prestigious award from the university, and that just shows the intense, like, the things that we have experienced in the program, and the fact that they have just been, sorry guys, having a moment. But it just shows the prestige that we have from the students in the program, that they can receive that highly competitive award from the university. It shows the top 5 states, and that 57% of the students identify as BIPOC students. And so that shows also the diversity that we have within the program. Next slide.
And Dr. Summers, if I can just kind of jump in really quickly and add, our students have, we're really proud of our students. We've graduated 2 classes. You saw on an earlier slide, our cohort who graduated, I think that was our first graduating cohort, and one of them received the Tulane 34 Award. And also Gigi, who you saw in the video, was a recipient of our Tulane 34 Award. Just kind of anecdotally, one of the things that I hear, and that all of us hear from students regularly, is that they truly value the connection that they have with their professors, that they have with each other. And they oftentimes walk away from the program and graduate from the program building interest in areas that they didn't think that they would have an interest in. I've heard students who signed up for one concentration or one certificate, and they wanted to take classes in others. And we allow that flexibility in the program, because as you learn more, as you experience more, perhaps as you develop mentors in the program, you'll be exposed to other opportunities and other fields and domains of practice. So we do build that into the program, the flexibility for you to adapt and modify your experience as you need to. And I can go on and talk about our student support and also some of the other elements that go along with the program as I'm talking about adjusting your path and your experience as a student. We do offer dedicated academic advisors for each SOPA student. So at the school level, every student has a dedicated academic advisor who guides you through your curriculum, through your coursework, through and helps to answer any questions that you might have. Also at the program level, Dr. Summers actually is the lead for our student success and support at the programmatic level. So if you have any questions about your classes, if you have any questions about the combination of classes. So sometimes we'll hear from students, should I take the data class together with the policy class, or should I take my electives together with another class? Because a lot of times the workload that's in different classes may differ. So you want to be able to balance that. So being able to talk to Dr. Summers about those experiences and what you can expect going into the classes, as well as what you can expect in terms of the faculty who you'll be working with, is a key part of our support. Also, gaining the networks that the program itself exposes you to. Dr. Albright talked about the residency and some of the experiential elements of the program. That helps you build a network. That helps you make those connections, as we talked about, or as Professor Summers talked about in the previous slide. A lot of our students experience promotions. They receive notable awards. Many of those things come as a result of the networks that they develop within our program. So they build those relationships that open that open those doors of opportunity for them. Of course, the support that you get as a Tulane alum, or being a part of the Tulane Alumni Network. There are students who, after they graduate, and especially being from other places, there are alumni chapters throughout the country. So they're able to tap into the broader Tulane Alumni Network. And finally, you get access to a career advisor. So we have a on-staff career advisor that helps students with their resumes, that helps students kind of think through what their career opportunities might be. And then certainly we offer that support at the programmatic level as well. Are there other things that you wanted to share about student success and support, Dr. Summers? I know I kind of jumped in there, but I was on a roll talking about some of the other elements of the program. So is there
That's
anything
okay. You did a
wanted to
good
share?
job.
All right. So I'll talk a bit about our credit for prior learning. So credit for prior learning, Professor McNamara talked about some of our partnerships that allow students to earn credit. We have another opportunity for students through the credit for prior learning process. And what that does is you can get credit, course credit, for professional experience that you've had. And that includes work experience, community service, military training, other professional development training that you may have participated in. And that allows you to get up to 6 credits for from what we call a portfolio assessment. So you share with us through this portfolio what your experiences have been and how they map to our actual learning outcomes and course learning outcomes. And from there, we review it and determine the alignment and whether or not that will qualify you for this course credit. Sometimes students are able to substitute classes for using this credit for prior learning. And ultimately, it gives you a savings of an average savings of about $3,000 on a master's degree. So it's truly a real significant value where you can apply your skills, the lessons that you've learned throughout your career to course credit for the program. Next slide, please. So as we talk about tuition and some of the financial logistics around the program, it's really, this is an investment, and it's not only a financial investment, but also an investment of time and your energy in the work that you're going to be doing. The program is a rigorous program. We do our best to support students and help bridge a lot of those challenges that you may have, or if you're not comfortable with learning online, we offer lots of support in that area. If you need support in writing or other areas where skill development is needed, we really put a lot of time and energy in making sure that you have the resources and the tools that you need to be successful. So as we talk about tuition, that's really important to understand that along with the classes that you're going to be taking, along with the degree that you're going to be earning or the certificate that you're going to be earning, there are also wraparound supports that you have as a student, or that you're afforded as a SOPA student and as a student in the John Lewis Public Administration program that really make this in my opinion, a worthy investment. Our tuition is for the fall 23 graduate tuition is $1,210 per credit hour, and each class is 3 credits. The whole program in total is 36 credit hours, so that's 12 classes that you'll be taking throughout the program. We do offer financial aid and tuition discounts. And as I'm talking about the tuition discounts and financial aid, if someone can put in the chat the link to the website page that outlines the SOPA tuition discounts, that would be great. We offer tuition discounts. Some of those are listed here, and they include tuition discounts for active duty, military and veterans, those who are alumni of Tulane, students who are alumni also of minority serving institutions, including historically Black colleges and universities. We also offer, we have financial aid options that are available as well through federal aid and grants and loans. You can also, as I mentioned in the prior credit for prior learning, receive course credit at a ultimately at a discounted rate. So there's a host of tuition benefits and discounts that are offered through the School of Professional Advancement that help to relieve some of that cost burden. And we'll put in the chat in a few minutes a full list or a link to a page where you can see the list of tuition discounts that we offer at the school. So we're gearing up for fall semester. Fall semester starts in August. So we're knocking on the door of August, as it were. July flew by. So I urge you, if you are interested, if you want to join our community, go ahead and apply now. Our application fee is $50, and that is waived because you're participating in this webinar. The application process is pretty straightforward. We ask for government issued ID, transcripts. There are a few admissions essays that are part of the application process. And we also ask for your resume. And here's the link in the page that for our application process. So we encourage you to do that as soon as possible. Here you see our application deadlines. So we do have admissions in the fall, spring, and summer. Our next deadline is coming up August 1st. And if you apply, are admitted, and enroll, well, that deadline is passed. Actually, the early enrollment deadline is passed of June 1st. But if you are looking at other terms and apply and are admitted and enrolled and enroll in classes by those dates, December 1st and April 25th, then you are eligible for the early enrollment discount of $500 for graduate students. Also, thank you, Anne, for putting in the chat the financial assistant link page so you can see some of the other resources that are available to you. I will say that it is important for you to apply early in time for the deadlines because that coincides with our academic calendar to make sure that you're able to enroll in classes by the start of classes, because we want to make sure that you can enroll and get started. Those first 2 weeks of classes are really, really, really important in getting acclimated and adjusted to what you can expect for the remainder of the term. So it's important that you meet these application deadlines for admissions. Next slide. So in closing, I just want to thank you all again for joining us. If you have any questions, I invite you to put them in the chat and we can field questions for you. But I want to also share that our program, when I think about our program from the early days when we were developing the concept and when we were first building classes, the thing that constantly stands out to me is we are a community. As you join this program, you're joining a community of people who are committed to public service, whether the domain be government, nonprofits, or in the private sector. We are committed to serving our communities in a way that we can be responsive to the changes and the diversity that we see within our communities. Our namesake, Congressman John Lewis, his career was guided by I think, ethical principles that that prioritize being inclusive, justice, and being again responsive to the needs of society and the needs of community. And we are very proud to bear that name. We officially dedicated the naming of our program not too long ago in this past October. And ever since then, I think that has continued to help center us in our approach to teaching and learning in the space of public service. So with that, I want to invite you all to continue to consider our program as the next step in your academic journey. And I want to open the floor for any of my colleagues who would like to share any closing remarks or thoughts. And also, if you have any questions, I'd like to welcome you to share your questions with us. So Tiara, Ryan, Brian, do you all have any closing thoughts?
All right, thanks, Selena. I'll jump in and share a couple of thoughts. I completed an MPA very early in my career, and what, in my experience, completing an MPA really helped me see my work in a completely different way. It really broadened my scope and my perspective on my world of work, and prepared me to complete my JD, my law program, after completing the MPA. And so I would encourage you, if you're on the fence about whether or not to complete an MPA program, I would offer that an MPA program is probably the most broadening graduate degree that you can take in terms of your perspective that could be applied to any field. And obviously, we would hope that you would pick the John Lewis Public Administration program for all the reasons that we've talked about before. But I certainly welcome any comments from any of my colleagues or any questions that you may have. All right, any other thoughts or comments or questions?
No, it doesn't seem like it. So hearing none, I think we are we are good to conclude this presentation. I do want to welcome you or invite you to use the QR codes that you see here on the screen to continue to connect with us. Also follow us on our social media channels. We do have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we're present on many of the social media channels. So there you can see what our faculty are doing, what our students are doing. And here's the contact information for Professor McNamara and myself if you'd like to reach out to us directly to ask about any program logistics or any specific questions that you might have. So with that, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.